What's going on, playmakers? We are back and we are ready and loaded, you guys, for another amazing episode of the Weekday Huddle with Coach Woods. So thank you for joining us. There's plenty places that you can be, but you chose to rock with Coach Woods. So I appreciate you. I love you. And we got a great topic to cover today. But if you are joining us for the very first time, welcome to the Before You Go Pro channel. Once again, I'm your host, Coach Wood, and this is the channel, you guys, where we talk football. This is the channel where the football players, the coaches, the parents, the fans come and check in every week so that we can get into the huddle and make sure that we're on the next level. So thank you for joining us. If you haven't already, make sure that you hit that subscribe button so that you're notified whenever we publish new content for you football people out there. Also, if you haven't already, get down in the description box. Make sure that you check out the resources that we have. We've got free resources. We've got resources to help you get to college. We've got NIL resources for those athletes that want to put a couple dollars in their pocket. We've got you covered, baby. So go down to the description box. Make sure you check out what we have for you there. And we're going to be adding things. So make sure that you consistently check out what we have for you down in the description box. But let's get into it, you guys. We've got a great topic today. And this may be something that many of you guys don't traditionally think about. But football is a copycat sport, you guys. Football is a copycat sport. It does not matter if something's working in the NFL, college, down at the high school ranks. If somebody sees something working on the field or off the field, you can believe it will be copied. Other programs, other organizations will pick it up and it will quickly be copied. There's a lot that takes place behind closed doors in the football industry, and a lot of decisions are being made that none of us get a chance to hear. You just kind of see the changes within the sport as new things are being adopted, you guys. Back in my day, the fullback was a big thing. Now, the fullback, there's only a few teams, if you're looking at the NFL, and especially if you're looking at college, that really use the fullback. Some teams used to use multiple tight ends. Now you see that less and less with the RPO game and them spreading out the game. So the game changes throughout the decades, you guys, and there's some things that are changing for a favorable manner that we're going to talk about today. One of those things, you guys, that was kind of an innuendo. It wasn't really talked about much, but you knew that it was going on, especially in my day and before, was you wouldn't have as many quarterbacks that were below 6'1", 6'2". It was a big quarterback game, 5-step game, and then the ball's gone. They wanted the stoic, stand in the pocket quarterback that wasn't going to be too mobile, but he could get the job done. Maybe about 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", and that's what was valued in my day. Also, in my day, you guys, there wasn't as many quarterbacks of color. There wasn't as many black quarterbacks at the various levels of football. And then especially before me, there wasn't that many quarterbacks of color. It was one of those things, and as sad as it is to say, the industry had adopted the mindset, you guys, that if you were a quarterback of color, you weren't going to be as smart as the white quarterbacks. You weren't going to be as smart as the other quarterbacks, which obviously was false, but it created a narrative where a lot of teams were not willing to draft or recruit a black quarterback. I actually happened to be a quarterback when I was a young football player, from little league all the way through 4 years of high school, and played at a private high school, and I was actually the quarterback. I did throw the ball. A lot of guys back then were used just as athletes and really didn't throw that much, but I had games where I had thrown 20, 30 times in a game. But I always knew, you guys, that eventually I would change positions. Now, I didn't feel like I had to change positions necessarily because of the color of my skin, but I felt more so that I would change positions due to my height. I'm only 5'10", and once again, I came up in an era where that wasn't as common. But it was definitely kind of an unspoken thing that we knew not as many black quarterbacks were going to be able to get past the gatekeepers. There were going to be some black quarterbacks, but they had to be much better than their peers. And regardless, not many were going to get through the gatekeepers of the industry. However, we live in a new day and age, and all of those beliefs, those false pretenses have been washed away, you guys, and there are plenty of phenomenal young black quarterbacks in the NFL, in college, high school. It's actually a wave of black quarterbacks that are doing phenomenal, and coaches are looking for these guys who can make plays, and it just does not matter as much as it did in the past, the color of your skin. There's a phenomenon that's taken place, and it's been brewing for years, but the byproduct, you guys, of teams, whether it's in the NFL, whether it's college, high school, wanting and being willing to bring on a black quarterback has created jobs for other black quarterbacks. And it's something that's not really talked about as much, but the fact that an NFL organization is willing to draft and make a black quarterback the face of their franchise actually creates jobs for other black quarterbacks. So the fact that you guys are seeing more black quarterbacks go against each other in games, I know we've got a playoff game coming up, depending on when you're seeing this, between the Packers and obviously Justin Love and Caleb Williams for the Bears. Those are two young, phenomenal black quarterbacks. But once again, the beauty behind this, the beauty behind the industry finally adopting these young superstars and being willing to put them on the field and put them as the face of their organization, regardless of color. And once again, this is trickling down to the college ranks and high school ranks. But the beautiful thing about it is now you have young African-American young ballers that believe they can do it. They can see the end of the light at the end of the tunnel. They know that they're not going to be discounted because of the color of their skin. It was definitely a day and age, you guys, where the black quarterback was overlooked, discounted, and had to do more just to get an equal shot, a fair shot. Luckily, we can say that those days are over, you guys. We live in a day and age now where if you can spin it, you can spin it. They're looking for you regardless of the color. The height restrictions aren't the same as when I was playing. And now a beautiful byproduct, you guys, of so many black quarterbacks getting an opportunity, so many black quarterbacks becoming the face of a football program in college or an NFL organization, is that it's actually opening up jobs for others. It's opening up jobs for more black quarterbacks. Usually what you guys will see, and this is just one of those byproducts, you guys, of how some of these NFL organizations are choosing to roll, some of these college programs are choosing to roll, is that if they do choose a quarterback of color, a black quarterback to be their head guy, usually now, you guys, you see that the second string person is also a black quarterback. And I don't think it's necessarily because that there's a race card being played. Like if we start a black guy, we got to back him up with the black guy. I think it's more, you guys, just the style of quarterback, the type of quarterback, especially at the NFL level. The second string guy is not going to get as many reps as the first string guy. So if the first string guy goes down, we can't totally change the playbook. We cannot totally change the playbook because one piece of our offense went down. Now, granted, it's the most important piece, but we cannot totally change the playbook because one piece of our program went down. One piece of our offense went down. So that opens up the door for another black quarterback to come into the game because typically they're going to have the same style, the same skill set, and be able to do the same things. So now we bring in the second string guy, and if he can mimic some of the things that the first string guy can do, maybe we can win this game. Maybe we can pull this out. So when you look across the league, you guys, it is hands down that a black quarterback 9 times out of 10 is going to lead to another black quarterback getting a job, having a job in the NFL. Sometimes you may look at a quarterback like Huntley, the backup quarterback for Lamar Jackson with the Ravens, and you're like, how is this dude in the NFL? You know, he doesn't look as dynamic as most typical NFL quarterbacks, but the main reason why he has a job is because he can do some, granted, definitely not all, but he can do some of the things that Lamar Jackson can do on some scale. So we do not have to totally change our playbook if we bring in Huntley. Obviously, we're going to probably sputter a little bit, but at least we can call the same plays. When you look across the league, look at the Chiefs. The Chiefs have the great Pat Mahomes, but then they just brought in a young guy, Olin Dukin. And this is a kid I had never even heard of, but he's got some of the same similar skill sets as Pat Mahomes. You look at the Cowboys, they've got who? They've got Dak Prescott, but they've got Mackenzie Milton backing him up. You look at Washington, they've got Jaden Daniels, but who do they've got behind him? They've got Josh Johnson, they've got Mariota, who's not black, but what? He's got some of the same skill sets. You guys. So this is something that you guys is going to become even more of a trend. You've got Arizona with Brissett and Kyler Murray. Little bit of a different skill set. But once again, if you see an organization or you see a college program go all in, think about Michigan and the quarterbacks that they have backing up Underwood. If you see a university go all in, you guys, on a quarterback of color, a black quarterback, 9 times out of 10, that's giving a job to another black quarterback. You know, there's going to be other black quarterbacks on that roster, which I think is a beautiful thing. There used to be a time where there'd be no black quarterbacks on the roster. My grandfather, Willie Wood, was the first black quarterback ever to play at USC. And he had a fine career. When it was time to go to the NFL, this is late 1960s, they told him, we would love to have you in the NFL. He played for the Green Bay Packers, ended up becoming a Hall of Famer. But they said, guess what? If you want to play in the NFL, you're not going to be playing quarterback. You're not going to be playing quarterback. So to go from 1960s to now in 2026, not only is there one quarterback running the show for a lot of these teams, black quarterback, but there may be 2 and 3 on the depth chart that look just like him, which is a beautiful thing. Now, I'm not ahead of, hey, just because he's black, give him the job. No. He better be able to make some plays too. But it's a beautiful thing where an organization and these NFL teams and these college teams have taken off the lid and stopped blinding themselves because of color. It is all about, in today's college football and today's pro football, who can move the ball up and down the field. And it is a beautiful thing to see some deserving young brothers finally get their shot and then opening up the door for somebody else to come behind them. So these are many of the topics that we'll cover, you guys, because football is a business, and sometimes we don't pick up on some of the different aspects of the business or some of the fine print of the business. But make no doubt about it, this isn't just a trend. There is a wave of black quarterbacks coming to the NFL and to college football, and guess what? That means there's a wave of backup black quarterbacks coming as well. So, all right, you guys. So that is it for this episode. Once again, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. Come get your football fix. Come in the huddle with Coach Wood, and let's talk about something. Let's talk about something that matters in this beautiful game of football and in this industry. All right. Make sure you get down to the description box so you can check out some of the resources that we've curated for you. And then also, you guys, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you know when Coach Wood's back.